Hi, my name is Cory Flokstra, and welcome to Men's Forest Book Club. This is for men. I don't know, women can watch this video too, you woman, but this is mainly just a men's book club because there's too many women's book clubs and not enough men's book clubs. And this is out in the forest. So, we're going to try to read 3 books in one video. Let's see if we can do this. I got here the Egyptian Book of the Dead, The Art of War by Sun Tzu, and some government gobbledygook, some politics, because politics are for men, not women. If you're, well, actually nowadays there's women politicians, but who knows how they're going to drive our country into the ground. But anyhow, let's begin by reading the government. American Government 101. As you can see, let's begin reading that. It's got a table of contents. Sweet. The Mayflower Company. Well, we're going to skip that because we want to learn something and not just the story. We'll read the story some other time. We're going to read this Government 101, American Government 101, not any old country that doesn't exist anymore. This is America. America is number one. USA number one. All right? Remember that. Don't let any other country drag you down for your political stance or belief in faith or God or whatever. Let's see, where should we begin? Writing the Constitution we'll begin with. In September 1786, representatives from 5 states gathered in Annapolis, Maryland, to discuss amending the Articles of Confederation. Not long after convening, however, the group realized it would require delegates from all 13 states to give the matter proper attention. This is about writing the Constitution. I don't know what the Constitution is, so we're going to have to read deeper into this some other time, but we're going to read 1 page of this, or maybe more if we got time. But we're trying to read all 3 books. Art of War by Sun Tzu, the Book of the Dead, Egypt, and the Government Gobbledygook. Alright, let's begin reading from here. Matter of proper attention, so they decided to meet again in Philadelphia the following year. 55 delegates from 12 states. Interesting. So they had to vote on that too, you voting democracy. Alright, that's a pain in the neck. But I'm fine with voting for now because I voted for the winner, and that's Donald Trump. The convention lasted the entire summer and was conducted in secret. Wait, I forgot to read this part. Rhode Island. Now this is the Rhode Island refused to attend. Rhode Island refused to attend this big event that would shape the whole American history. Rhode Island just gave up. Now Philadelphia. They arrived on May 25, 1787. Convention lasted the entire summer and was conducted in secret as participants sought an honest exchange of ideas and compromise. As the first order of business, the delegates unanimously, I think that's how you say the word, voted George Washington convention chair. It would be the only unanimous agreement. Now, let's read the campaign trail. This is about George Washington, the first president, I think it is. George Washington is the only president of the United States to have been elected unanimously. All other elections have been hotly contested, with both sides hurling accusations and epithets at one another. Interesting. I don't know what the hell that means. Okay, let's see here. Alright. Got enough time. 35. We're going to try to read this in a time limit. But this is Virginia and New Jersey plans. Shortly after convention convened, Virginians James Madison and Edmund Randolph, two of the most well-respected attendees, submitted to a constitutional proposal called the Virginia Plan, which was a radical departure from the Articles of Confederation. At the heart of Virginia Plan was bicameral two-chamber legislature with the lower house chosen by the people and the upper house chosen by the lower house. The plan also called for the national executive and judiciary, both of which were selected, where was I missed judiciary, which were selected by the legislature. Virginia plan was a bold attempt at creating a strong central government. While delegates from the large states supported the Virginia plan, representatives from the smaller states complained about that the larger states would dominate the national legislature. The number of legislative representatives would be determined by population. Other delegates feared that such a strong central government would snuff out states' rights and restrict individual liberty. After weeks of heated debate, William Paterson of New Jersey hastily submitted an alternative document dubbed the New Jersey Plan. The New Jersey Plan was a modification of the Article of Article of Confederation. It called the uncamerable, I don't know what the hell that means, some sort of George Washington word, unconterminable, blah, 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 with equal representation for each state, regardless of population, a weak two-person executive branch, and single judiciary body. Got that? I don't get it. We're going to have to read this some other time to figure out what this all means. All these describing words, they're so annoying. They use describing words a lot in books nowadays. And it gets really confusing what that word actually means. All these words seem pretty made up and shit, but that's all, folks. Wait, hold on a second. We're just reading this just for fun, but we'll put the bookmark in there some other time. The bookmark I was going to use was a Yu-Gi-Oh card called Red Eyes Black Dragon. We're going to use that as a bookmark for now. So, let's end this tape right here. We'll do it. Yeah. Next up, we got the Egyptian Book of the Dead. The Egyptian Book of the Dead! Hail Osiris! Hail Ra! Sun gods! Amenhotep! Ramses the slave driver and war master of Egypt. I think that's what he did. Alright. Whatever that means. Alright. Let's just read something about the Hymn of Osiris from this book here called the Egyptian Book of the Dead. The Egyptian Book of the Dead. The Egyptian Book of the Dead. I'm Osiris. Glory to be Osiris on Nefer, the great god within Abydos, King of eternity, Lord of everlasting, who passeth through millions of years in his existence, eldest son of the womb of Nut, engendered by Seb the Arpit. What? Lord of the crowns of the north and the south, Lord of the lofty white crowns, as Prince of gods and of men, he hath received the crook and the flail and the dignity of the divine fathers. Let thy heart, which is in the mountain of Amenta, be content, for thy son Horus is established upon thy throne through art, crowned Lord of Tatu, and the ruler of Ebtu. Through thee the world waxeth. Excuse me, that was a burp. I ate a donut not too long ago. I took a walk to the gas station and got a donut not too long ago. Right now we're trying to read the Egyptian Book of the Dead from the Hymn of Osiris. We got up to green. Okay, through thee the world waxeth green in triumph before the might of the Nebercher, whatever that is. He leadeth in his train that which is not yet in his name Teher Seteneth. He toweth along the earth in triumph in his name Seker. His exceeding mighty and most terrible in his name Osiris. He endureth forever, if and for in his name Osiris. Osiris, he endureth forever and forever in his name Anepher. Homage to thee, the King of kings, Lord of lords, Prince of princes, whom for the womb nut hast possessed the world and that hast ruled. Checking the time. All lands in a Kurt. Thy body is of gold, thy head is of azure and emerald. Light encircleth thee, and of millions of years, all pervading with thy body and beautiful in countenance in Tessert. Grant thou of the Ka of Osiris, the scribe of Ani, splendor in heaven and might upon earth, and triumph of Netter Kurt, and that I may sail down to Tatu like a living soul, and up to Ebtu like a Bennu phoenix, and that I may go in and come out without repulse at the pylons of Tuat. May there be given unto me loaves of bread. Bread. Good to make a sandwich out of. If I was more in bread, I'd be a sandwich. In the house of coolness. Cool. You gotta be cool to enter the Egyptian, yeah. Join the Cool Kids Club. The KK beep. Anyhow. Coolness and offerings of food in Anu and its homestead of ever second Aru with wheat and barley therefore. Okay. And that's the Hymn of Osiris. Cool. Next up, we have Art of War by Sun Tzu. We're just previewing books, alright? We're going to review all these books here, all 3 books. And this is the final book that we're going to read in this video. So stay tuned for that. Well, actually, we don't need to mark them in any bookmarks. So, because it's just reviewing books, I'm sorry. We're going to read more of these books some other time. I'm just trying to time myself reading this. But this is probably going to be a really long video. Just saying. But I need to clip them and edit these videos in a way I can make the video longer. Because I hate YouTube Shorts. I don't hate all YouTube shorts. I watch YouTube shorts myself, but why is there YouTube shorts? I don't get it. Is it because we're losing the war against TikTok? That dumb content cringe site? I don't know. But anyhow, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. We don't need to bookmark anything. I don't know why I brought Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards to bookmark everything, but we're going to read the Attack by Stratagem of this book called The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu said, in particular, Art of War, the best thing of all is to take the enemy's country whole and intact, to shatter and destroy. Shatter and destroy. It is not so good, it is better to recapture an army entire than to destroy it, to capture a regiment, a detachment, or a company entire than to destroy them. Hence, to fight and conquer in all your battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. Thus, the highest form of generalship is to bulk the enemy's plans. The next best is to prevent the junction of the enemy's forces. The next, in order to attack the enemy's army in the field. And the worst policy of all is to besiege walled cities. Yeah. That's the reason why Donald Trump was building a wall. But everybody complained about the wall, and now we don't hear much about the wall anymore. Why is that? I like walls. I like the fact that Donald Trump made a wall. He's cool. I like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is awesome. I don't know why people hate on that guy. He's not as snuffy. He doesn't snuff little kids like Joe Biden does. I don't know what the fuck's up with that. But anyhow, to fight and conquer in all battles is not supreme excellence. Consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. Thus, highest generalship is to bulk. Okay, I already read that. The rule is not to besiege walled cities. It is can possibly to be avoided. The preparation of manlets. Don't be a manlet. I think the word manlet means something else, okay? It means something else in this book, not what you think it means. So get your head out of the gutter. Manlet is just some loser. A grown man wearing diapers. There's something wrong with that. But anyhow, we're not manlets in the Cory Flokstra show. We are cool people. We're adults here, so pull up your pants and use a toilet like a real man. Stop pooping in your clothes. Sometimes it's hard to do that when you're sick and have diarrhea and eat too much food, but anyhow. Worst policy of all, besiege the walled cities. I try to read this as fast as I can so that this video can... Okay. Persian manlets, movable shelters, and various implements of war will take up their 3 wall months, and the piling up of mounds over against the walls will take these months more. The general unable to control the duration and will launch his men to the assault like swarming ants, which the result that 1/3 of the men were slain, while the town still remains untaken. Such are the disastrous effects of a siege. Therefore, the skillful leader subdues the enemy's troops without any fighting. Interesting. I like fighting. Why not just fight them? You risk a lot of troops fighting, but who cares? We're all badass. He captures their cities, laying siege to them, overthrows their kingdom without lengthy operations in the field. With his forces intact, he will dispute the master of the empire, and thus, without losing a man, his triumph will be complete. This is the method of attacking by stratagem. Remember, attack by stratagem. That's what we're reading. It is a rule in war: if our forces are 10 to the enemy's 1, to surround him; if 5 to 1 and 2, attack him; if twice as numerous, as divide our army into 2. If equally Said that word way too many times. It's a tongue twister because of all the DEI bullshit. Man, see, we can offer battle in slightly inferior numbers. We can avoid the enemy if quite unequal. In every way, we can flee from him. Hence, though an obstinate fight may be made by a small force, in the end, it must be captured by the large force. Now, the general is the bulwark of the state. If the bulwark is complete at all points, the state will be strong. If the bulwark is defective, I don't know what the heck's a bulwark is. Don't you mean aardvark? Is that an animal? I think that's an aardvark. Ancient breed of prehistoric aardvarks. A bulwark. Making that shit up. I don't know. Look up what a bulwark is. What's the definition of bulwark? I don't got time to look at that shit, but on the internet or look it up in a dictionary or thesaurus all the time when I'm reading a damn book. They keep making these describing words. I'm sick of that. I just wanted to understand what this book is all about when I keep reading and they keep on using describing words. It just gets complicating. But the bulwark of the state, blah! Bulwark complete at all points. State will be strong. Blah, 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 bulwark. There are 3 ways in which a ruler can bring misfortune upon his army. Number 1, by commanding the army to advance or to retreat, being ignorant of the fact that is cannot obey this is called hobbling the army. Number 2, by the attempting to govern an army in the same way of the administrators. A kingdom being ignorant of the conditions which obtain in an army, this causes restlessness in the soldiers' minds. Number 3, employing the officers of his army without discrimination through ignorance of the military principle of adaptation to circumstances. This shakes the confidence of the soldiers. But when the army is restless and distrustful, we're going to have to stop it right there. We'll still continue, okay? I just need to edit some shit out right now. Welcome back. Welcome back after these messages. The commercials are done with. Now we're back to the men's Forest Book Club. No girls allowed, sadly. Although I really want a girlfriend. What kind of girlfriend? Anyhow, where were we? We're at number 3. By employing the officers of his army without discrimination through ignorance of the military principle of adaptation to circumstances, this shakes the confidence of the soldiers. But when the army is restless and distrustful, trust your commander-in-chief. All right, that's the number 1 rule in being in an army. Trouble is sure to come from the other feudal princes. This is simply bringing anarchy. Uh-oh, anarchy! Anarchy! Don't yell that outside. There's no anarchy around here. Nowadays they're trying to normalize anarchy bullshit. I don't know why. Anarchy used to be cool and used to mean less government, but now it's just a bunch of commies into the arm and flinging victory away. Thus we may know that there are 5 essential for victory. Number 1, he will win who knows when to fight and when to not fight. Number 2, he will win who knows how to handle both superior and inferior forces. Number 3, he will win whose army is animated by the same spirit throughout all his ranks. He will win who prepared himself waits to take the enemy unprepared. He will win who has military capacity and is not interfered with by the sovereign. Victory lies in the knowledge of these 5 points. Whew, I'm trying to read this as fast as I can. This is a fast read along, so right now we're taking a break again. because I'm talking. Shut up, Cory! Nobody wants to hear your opinions anymore! Anyhow, let's keep reading. Hence the saying, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need to fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you'll also suffer a defeat. Yeah, sometimes you get defeated a lot in battle. In the battlefield, nobody wins. But this book is about winning in battle. Everybody should learn from Sun Tzu how to win in battle. If you know neither, let me know yourself, know thyself and thy enemy. You will succumb in every battle. Where succumb means not that bad of a describing word. But anyhow. And that's about it. We read all 3 books, all in an edited half of whatever the fuck I'm doing right now in this book. Forest book read video. So, what else should I say before I end this meet up in the forest? Any words of wisdom? I'm confused. So, gotta go. See you later, everybody. Bye.